As an immigrant to this country, I would like to say a few words to my fellow Americans. President Trump sought to overturn the results of an election, and of a fair election. President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever. The good thing is that he soon will be as irrelevant as an old tweet. Very aware of Kristallnacht, or the Night of Broken Glass. It was a night of rampage against the Jews carried out in 1938 by the Nazi equivalent of the Proud Boys.
Hey folks, remember when the Terminator was just a movie character? Well, now he's terminating Trump's ego. Arnold Schwarzenegger just dropped a video that's hotter than a California wildfire, and Trump's getting roasted harder than a burnt steak. Seriously, who would have thought the guy who said "I'll be back" would come back to kick Trump's behind? It's like watching Godzilla vs. Kong, but with more hairspray and fewer special effects. Stick around because this political smackdown is juicier than a double cheeseburger at a White House dinner.
Arnold, I have a great idea. Why don't we switch jobs? You take over TV because you're such an expert in ratings, and I take over your job. And then people can finally sleep comfortably again.
And they hired a big movie star, Arnold Schwarzenegger, to take my place. And we know how that turned out. The ratings went right down the tubes. It's been a total disaster.
So being from Europe, I've seen firsthand how things can spin out of control. I know there is a fear in this country and all over the world that something like this could happen right here.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Alright folks, let's talk about Trump's latest Twitter tantrum. Remember when social media was just for sharing pictures of your lunch? Well, those days are long gone. Now it's all about world leaders throwing shade and causing international incidents 280 characters at a time.
The only thing is that we don't have to go under completely. We don't have to wait for that moment. Let's change and let's go and be more open and go back to this kind of like a big tent idea of Ronald Reagan. And I think this is why we have helped it to some extent here in California with getting rid of gerrymandering and to do redistricting reform and to have open primaries.
Independents are about to overtake Republicans in California. What can California do differently?
I think independents are going to take over the Republicans, are going to take over the Democrats also.
So picture this, Trump, probably sitting on his golden throne, and by throne I mean toilet, decides it's time to unleash another tweet storm. He fires off a message so explosive it makes his hair look calm by comparison. You know it's bad when even his toupee is trying to crawl away in embarrassment. The tweet hits the internet like a stink bomb in an elevator. Everyone's holding their nose, but they just can't look away. It's like a car crash. If the car was orange and had a bad comb over, people are scratching their heads, wondering if Trump's finally lost his marbles, or if this is just another Tuesday in Trumpland. Honestly, at this point, it's getting hard to tell the difference. The internet starts buzzing louder than a beehive on Red Bull. Everyone's waiting to see who'll step up to the plate and take a swing at the presidential piñata. And boy, did they get a heavy hitter. Enter the Governator. That's right, folks. Arnold Schwarzenegger decides it's time to terminate Trump's ego. His reaction video drops faster than Trump's approval ratings after, well, pretty much anything he does. It's like watching Godzilla vs. Kong, but with more political jabs and fewer buildings being destroyed. Although give Trump time, and he might manage that too.
You famously said that the Republican Party has a problem at the box office. I heard you equate the GOP with the Titanic. Explain.
The reason why I said it was because their policies were such that they were not really including everybody. And we were losing them because we were not addressing those issues. So I was telling them, I said, look, the way you're going, by being so healthcare reform and being so anti-environment and stuff like this, we are losing and we are dying at the box office.
As Arnold's video starts spreading, you can almost hear Trump wishing he could go back in time and terminate that tweet. But hey, even the Terminator can't save him from this mess. It's like watching David take on Goliath if David had biceps the size of boulders and Goliath had hands the size of cocktail sausages. The online world is lighting up faster than a Christmas tree on steroids. People are sharing Arnold's video like it's the cure for boredom, which, let's face it, in these times of endless Zoom meetings and sourdough starters, it kind of is. It's got more views than a cat video during a slow workday, and that's saying something. Holy moly, folks! Arnold's video is spreading faster than a rumor about Trump's toupee falling off during a press conference. It's like someone gave the internet a shot of pure adrenaline, and now everyone's hitting that share button like their lives depend on it. The Governator's takedown is more viral than a cat video of kittens doing the Macarena while solving world hunger. You know it's big when even your grandma, who still thinks the internet is a fancy fishing net, has somehow seen it. She's probably sharing it on her flip phone by holding it up to her neighbor's window. Talk about old school viral marketing.
What do you think about Donald Trump running for president again?
You know, I think that's the past. And I think that we have to march into the future. And I think there are very talented people in this country on the Republican side that can run. So I would go, look in the future rather than in a rear mirror.
But here's the real kicker. This isn't just some funny video anymore. It's turning into a full-blown political smackdown. Arnold's words are hitting harder than his punches in Terminator, and Trump's probably feeling it right in his ego. It's like watching David take on Goliath if David had biceps the size of boulders and Goliath had hands the size of cocktail sausages. The memes are popping up faster than Trump's excuses after a bad tweet. We've got Arnold's face photoshopped onto everything from the Statue of Liberty to that fly on Mike Pence's head. It's like the 80s all over again, but with more political punch and less neon. Meanwhile, Trump's probably sweating more than a snowman in a sauna. You can almost hear him shouting, "Get to the chopper," as he tries to escape this PR nightmare. But there's no escaping the Terminator, Donnie. He said he'd be back, and boy did he deliver. As the view count keeps climbing, everyone's wondering, will Trump respond? Or is he too busy rage-eating Big Macs in a corner of the Mar-a-Lago kitchen? The suspense is killing us faster than Trump's policies are killing, well, you know. One thing's for sure, this ain't your average Twitter spat. This is shaping public opinion faster than you can say kerfuff. While we're all busy laughing at the latest meme, who knows what's happening behind the scenes? It's like watching a magician's hands while they pocket your wallet, or in Trump's case, maybe the nuclear codes? Well folks, it looks like the Terminator has terminated Trump's Twitter tirade once and for all. Who knew Arnold would be the one to put the hasta la vista baby in politics? This whole saga has been wilder than Trump's hair on a windy day. In the end, we've learned that you can take the man out of Hollywood, but you can't take the showmanship out of the man, or the politics out of Twitter. So next time you're about to tweet something stupid, remember? Somewhere out there might be an Arnold waiting to terminate your online ego. Stay tuned, because in this political circus, the show's never over. It just gets weirder. Speaking of weird, don't miss our next video where we dive into Trump goes nuts when Jon Stewart destroyed Trump's entire reputation over debate lies. It's gonna be huge.